Greetings, YouTube model people. How is it going? And welcome to another Sunday morning Model Cars and Coffee. This series hosted by Paul over at Left Coast Model Car Builds, Left Coast Model Car Builds here on YouTube. Paul, thank you as always for the series. Just double checking here. This is my episode number 15. And kind of running out of projects to show you guys that are car model and car model-esque related. I have plenty of other models that are not model cars, right? They're model figures and plane and tanks and things like that I've done pre my YouTube channel. But as far as model cars and trucks, yeah, I have maybe one more after this one, and then we're up to the point where I started up my YouTube channel. So anyway, so we're plowing right along. Oh yeah, this week's mug, another one that was a gift someone gave me, which features Wildwood Crest, it says there. A bunch of crabs here on the cup or the mug. Wildwood Crest, if you're not familiar, is one of the many New Jersey shore points. Very well known, very visited here within the state and surrounding areas. Wildwood Crest is kind of the quieter part of Wildwood, which people really like. It's a little nicer, quieter area. If you go to North Wildwood and Wildwood City, that's where they have at least 2 or 3 piers on the boardwalk, famous Jersey boardwalk, of classic places, to eat there. You have Coors Custard stand there. It's been there forever. You have Max Pizza, that's been there forever, a few things like that. But then, of course, all these carnival rides and roller coasters and things like that. It really, most people would take it two nights to see all of that stuff. But the Wildwood Crest is the area people go. They want to get away from all the activity and noise. And not too far from there is Cape May, New Jersey, which is one area I do recommend if you're visiting in this area, if you're in New Jersey. Try to go in and check out, at least see Cape May, which is all the way at the bottom of the state, southernmost point of the state. Very cool area any time of year. Winter, summer, fall, they always have things going on. Very nice restaurants, very quaint area, lots of history there. So here we are. Here's the Wildwood Crest, which I haven't been to in a few years. Been a while. Maybe I'll go this summer. Anywho, that aside, let's get over to this week's model. Got a couple things to talk about with it, but nothing crazy or unique. But let's go take a look at what we have this week for you. Okay, so as you saw there with the little box art, this is the famous, I don't know about famous because this is a later release of this kit, the Vampire Van. Very cool kit. This is, of course, they said the later release, which is the AMT Ertl of it. But it's basically the same exact kit, right? So, as the original. A lot of fun. This was built end of 2003, beginning of 2004. Looking back on my records. And I used Tamiya paint. It was a blue paint, even though it looks sort of almost purple. I'm going to just take off. This is removable, obviously. We'll take a little closer look here. I don't remember, but it is blue paint for sure, Tamiya. And I was quite happy the way this came out, especially the paint. Again, I was still building skills and all that, and you could tell by some of the hand painting I did, or even some of the chrome work here. Certainly, I would do a lot better job nowadays with that kind of thing. Those are all crooked, and I have the areas where I missing the plating, the chrome plating, because it, was chopped off the sprue, and then, so it's not perfect by any stretch. But interestingly enough, I won a couple awards over the course of time at model contests with this little guy. Here's the little trailer. Of course, I had to make the trailer. Again, I was happy that I was able to hand paint those chrome hinges and such so neatly. I wasn't known for being very neat when I was a young person. Some of the coloring you had to do and shapes and things in school, I was horrible at it. So the fact that I was able to, somehow get it all together when it came to the hobby later on, Yeah, I really, maybe just a late bloomer, right? My own couple of touches too on this was the black, putting a gloss black here and there and down the back here, that's hand painted, which I would have spray painted that nowadays. Um, just so you don't see any brush marks or rough spots. But anyway, so yeah, I won a second place the first time I showed this model in the MosquitoCon IPMS show in Wayne, New Jersey in 2004. It's usually the first Saturday in April. So I did win a second place for that, and I won a couple of other awards. Again, local shows, so there's not usually a lot of competition. So, it's not terribly difficult to win an award sometimes. It depends. You never know, as I said before, you never know what's going to show up. So, you just go and have a good time. And yeah, if you get an award, that's great. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. Again, I always laugh when people talk about caskets versus coffins. This being the theme of a vampire would be a coffin. Obviously, things people, use in funerals and such would be caskets, right? So you don't use coffins there. But anyway, just a small thing. Now, I invite you to hang on here at the end just for a few seconds for the probably literally the most boring behind the scenes little feature I did of setting up here a little bit before doing the video today. And I'll have another one of those next week, a little bit different. And we're going to go on just shaky mode for 3 seconds because I forgot about this, but I actually started an interesting project that I quickly abandoned, as you're going to tell, of taking all the plaques and awards that I won for models and kind of grouping them together and put a picture of the model next to them. So believe it or not, the couple plaques I won awards for this guy, I put it up on the wall. So here, let's just take a quick look here in this messy room. But there they are, right there. Those are the three. This one all the way to the right, that was the one from MosquitoCon. So that's it, folks. Thanks for tuning in, and hang on for the behind the scenes quick little clip. And that's all right. Talk to you in a bit. Cheers. Probably some of the most boring behind the scenes of anything ever. Well, hey, if people have, little Instagram reels or, YouTube clips that just show turning on and off iPhones, I could do my teapot, right? There it is, behind the scenes. There's my current black tea of choice. I get it off Amazon, the little pillows. And I keep this on a dish towel because most likely when I'm dunking the tea bags, I'm going to spill it. How I'm able to do model building and I can't properly dunk tea bags without spilling it, I have no idea, because how can you handle finite pieces if you can't even make your tea properly? This is a cool device, by the way. You can do 80 million different things in this thing because it's temperature controlled, and that's why I bought it. So anyway, boring behind the scenes. That's it, folks. Cheers.